Good morning, Raptor freaks. Lexiot's here, and it is Saturday, and we lost to the Milwaukee Bucks on Friday night. It was a weird game. I was right in the ref report that the referees were going to be a little bit stingy and helpful to the Milwaukee Bucks at home, and they were. They were. There was some issues there. Also, this is the first game this season with the Bucks where both Giannis and Dame Lillard were really on their games. Lillard has struggled against the Raptors since he came to Milwaukee to an extent. And well, he did not last night. In fact, I saw Damian Lillard play with more pluck and energy and a little bit more like trying than usual last night. Where, you saw usually Lillard is like a 3-point guy, of course, and he'll just shoot threes like crazy. But he was doing stuff in between in the mid range last night and being a lot more active in trying to find his shot and score. Giannis was very difficult to stop last night. He was very aggressive and he was going right at Scotty. And Scotty and Jonathan got the primary defensive assignment to try and stop Antetokounmpo. And with mixed results, different types down the floor, they did good. Different times they did not. Scotty got him right off the bat in the starting lineup. And then Jonathan came in off the bench and kind of like was guarding him when Scotty was out. And it was interesting. There was a lot of Scotty versus Giannis in this game last night that was very interesting. Giannis threw it down at one point and turned and like flexed and kind of sneered at Scott. And then Scott took it upon himself to try and come back the other end of the court and try and do something for the Raptors the other way. I love that. That's part of what I'm talking about. This superstar mentality, face of the franchise kind of thing is you meet the guy on the other side is that your equal, your counterpart, and you try and take it to them. Well, these verses are forming naturally around Scotty Barnes a lot more often recently. John Morant, Jason Tatum, Giannis Antetokounmpo. This guy is taking the verses against the best guy on the other side of the court and running with it. He's not scared of it. There's no Siakam that's there in between to maybe do it. It's Scott. Scott has to do it now. So yeah, that's fun. In fact, I got flashes last night from watching the game that Scotty versus Giannis could end up being like an interesting rivalry in the future years if they have to actually play in very high stakes games in the playoffs in the years to come. Well, those two against each other could become a marquee matchup in the NBA if they decided to market it that way, because in some ways they're very similar. Very, very similar, but in some ways they're not. Scotty's very, very specific talent himself. Yeah. All right. Let's see what y'all are saying in the chat this morning. We'll do reaction, classic card, scout of the day, Instagram stories, and there's a birthday too today. So that's about it today. No game today. Neither team is playing today. So the Raptors are off and the 905 are off. The Raptors won't be back until Tuesday to play the Orlando Magic, and the 905 play tomorrow against Valley Suns. We'll do a watch along live on the stream tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. So hopefully you can join us. Trevor J's here. Commissioner Fudge saying they don't respect you at the bottom. That's where we're at right now. They ignore you in the middle. Yeah, we were there a couple years ago. Then they hate you when you get on top. 2019. Yeah. And pretty much most of the 2010s, to be honest. You'll never have everyone's approval, so it's best to focus on your own. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, in some ways, Raptors fans, we can't wait for the mainstream media, the U.S. media, the Canadian hockey media to give the proper credit or love or adulation or these kind of things to our team. And in some ways, we just need to be independent. Because honestly, we can listen to the news and let it shape us on how we feel about our team. But if we decide that we just love our team unconditionally, we're going to look at the positives of our team. We're going to root for our team in a positive way. We're going to wish the best for every single one of them playing for us. That can change things real fast and make it a lot more supportive for fan nation. I'm just sick of it. You guys are getting conditioned by media to hate the Raptors, some of y'all that call yourselves Raptors fans. But you're not really fans. You're just people that watch basketball that need something to complain about. So figure this out, people. Come on now. And in some ways, if you want, come the Raptor Freak way and let's be positive about our team no matter what, even if they're 10-32 and they're, at the bottom of the Eastern Conference. Who cares right now? This is part of what we got to do as we rebuild. And that's what I'm saying. You don't have to approve of them if you're a real win at all costs kind of person. But if you want to be a real fan for your team, you stick with them through thick and thin, is what I'm saying right now. That's right. You don't have to watch all the games. If you are busy, go do other things, but you root for them in a positive way. In some ways, I've said, the Raptors were your child. How would you treat them? Would you be abusive towards them? Would you put them down? No. You'd be encouraging. Then you'd be nurturing. And you'd be trying to help them figure it out and get better because you love them. Well, if you don't love them, you're going to treat them like trash, kick them around and pee all over them. It's something like that. Like some fans treat the Raptors, even though they're not really fans, is what I'll say right there. Thank you, Trevor, for your words of wisdom. Trevor's saying 2 referees helped the Bucks with free throws. They had a lot. 41 free throws. Insane. Yeah. That was a huge factor in the game last night. The margin's not that wide. They inflated a lead for the Milwaukee Bucks in the first half by funneling free throws like crazy to Giannis and Dame and the rest of the Bucks. They got double the free throws we got. Darko mentioned it after the game. He flirted with the fine a little bit. I don't think he'll get one because of the way he said it, but he said that the free throw discrepancy was wrong last night and that the game that he watched, they should have been getting so many free throws and we should have gotten more equal free throw numbers with them, is what Darko said, and said he's going to review the tape and see if they were right, but he doesn't feel like they were because in the middle of the game when he was watching it, it seemed like they were very unfair and unbalanced with the way they were putting people on the line last night, just handing them to the Milwaukee Bucks. That's what I saw too, Darko. I don't think you're crazy. I saw the same damn thing. Somebody breathed on Giannis. He was going to the line. Meanwhile, people grabbing RJ and Scotty's arms, and there ain't no calls at all. Yeah, I saw that. I saw a 4-point play for Dame Lillard where he barely got fouled. They put him on the line just because of reputation. Yeah, there was a lot of that bullshit. In fact, I want to start the box score by looking at the team stats because of this right here, what you're saying. Now, this is the thing. We manufactured 10 more field goal attempts than them. That's hustle. That's pure hustle. That's the sign of a team that out-hustled the other team and outworked them. So we got 10 more attempts, but we only made one more shot than them because we didn't shoot as well. They shot 52%. We shot 47%. 3-pointers. They did make 5 more threes than us, which was kind of a problem. I wish Grady had been shooting a little bit better. Grady was 0 from 3. There were a few other guys that were 0 for like not shooting well from 3 that would have helped if they had made some of their threes. Shooting 24% from 3, 8 of 34 for the Raptors really hurt. In some ways, if we just made a couple more of our open threes, we might have won this game last night, honestly, guys. The free throw discrepancy was awful. 41 free throw attempts for the Milwaukee Bucks, only 24 for the Raptors. And they gave us a lot of those extra attempts later in the game when things weren't as, they were. It really is as dumb as this. Kevin Cutler and C.J. Washington, and I'm not going to say Robert Hussey as much because Robert Hussey is the junior ref and he was just out there. C.J. Washington and Kevin Cutler for sure absolutely favored the Bucks by handing them. The thing was what they do is they would check and see if they make the shot or if they didn't have every trip down the court, the Bucks were going to get points no matter what, because Cutler and Washington were going to call a foul if they did not make a successful basket. They were going to do that no matter what. They decided, and they did that. And meanwhile, they're calling ticky-tack little travels on Jakob and other little dumb little calls against the Raptors. So they were very one-sided, very, very one-sided in this game last night. You know, it's tough to play against two guys that are probably Hall of Famers by themselves, but then to have most of the refs really against you, this is a really tough thing to do. You know, part of it is the league saw us beat Boston on Wednesday. And I've noticed this before. that when the Raptors get on a good groove and they start doing something really good and they got good feelings, the refs will come to crush our dreams and our feelings because they don't want us to feel good. They don't want us to have good feelings. They want to remind us that it's an unfair league towards us and that you have a harder road to go, Raptors. So why are you so enthusiastic? Why are you so connected? Why are you so happy halfway through the season when we were supposed to have buried you underneath the toughest schedule in the whole entire NBA and you're supposed to have your soul and your dreams crushed? Why are you so happy still? Oh, because you got Coach Darko, you got vibes, and you're a happy team because you like playing with each other, and you just beat Golden State, and you just beat Boston. Well, come play Milwaukee on Friday night, and we'll send referees. They're going to absolutely screw you, and they're going to absolutely make you feel like this league is hard, this league is tough, this league is unfair, and this league is bullshit. That's what they did. They did this shit a couple years ago. When the Raptors went on a crazy win streak, they screwed us over in a game, actually last year, when they screwed us over in LA against the Lakers. They did the same exact kind of action that they did last night that they did in LA. They got a hit job. The Raptors, because the Raptors got good vibes, good momentum, good things going, because they just beat the champs on Wednesday. NBA head office says, oh, the Raptors beat the Boston Celtics on Wednesday. You better send a hit job to them on Friday when they play the Bucks and get that good feeling out of them. I'm swear, I think it's that directed. You know, they could have sent us an ordinary crew, but they sent a hit job crew, a crew that was going to go there and stack a whole bunch of free throw attempts for the Milwaukee Bucks to stop the momentum of a Raptors team that looked like they were getting a little bit too big for their britches and beating teams that they ain't supposed to be beating. I'm just saying that's the way that they did it to us last year in LA when Darko got his fine. And he said, if you didn't want us to show up to have a chance to win, why do we even show up to the game? When he said that, yeah, it's a complete crap. When he had that rant, this is the same kind of game afterwards. Darko didn't do that, but he did say the discrepancy in free throws was wrong and that it was not fair. And he was right. We got out rebounded by 1 rebound, which is pretty damn good considering Milwaukee's a very good rebounding team. Assists really good still for the Raptors, 31 assists. So they've been getting over 30 assists almost every game. So the teamwork is still there. There was some really nice passes and cutting still for the Raptors amidst the very difficult Milwaukee defense and all the chaos and the stupidity of the referee stuff that I was just talking about. Turnovers even, fast break points, just 1 more point for them. And we won the points in the paint, surprisingly, 56-40, the points in the paint for the Raptors. Yeah, they had a 20-point lead, was the highest lead they had at times. We got it down to 10 a couple times in the fourth quarter, in the third, late in the third, but couldn't finish the comeback. And it just didn't happen. They teased us. The Raptors teased us in the second half. It makes you wonder if we hadn't got hit job in the beginning of the game with so many free throws going to the Bucks and helping them get a huge lead at the beginning, if we had been able to close this game out and win it by the end, because we might have been able to. I'm telling you, there was a little bit of signs in the third quarter when things were starting to come around for us. I was like, we could come back and win this. And I was feeling it. But we'd get close. We'd get to around 10, and Milwaukee would respond, and they'd score some. And, it just didn't, it fizzled out. It's like they built back from like being 20 down to only being like 12 down, but then it would go back. And it was like a tease. It is what it is. In some ways, it's another learning game. I'm not totally mad at it. It wasn't a blowout. It was a game where we were competitive. And honestly, it was 8 versus 5. So it was bullshit. It was 8 versus 5. Nako's here. He's saying, I'm at the gym right now, and they're replaying our loss. I love Mobo and Kelly in this one. All right, let's do the 3 stars of the game. My number 1 star of the game last night is actually Jakob Poeltl, guys. I want to give Poeltl some shine because, he's still doing a lot of different things that are really, really tough to do. Last night, he's against a bigger center, a guy who's a little bit bigger than him, Brook Lopez, but he's still super effective. And I loved how Jakob was trying to do fakes on him and go around him on offense. In some ways, Milwaukee's been really tough for us to score on this year. As a young team, them very veteran and very long and tall, that we've had a hard time scoring on them. And working the ball all the way down into Jakob, and then him trying to like out fake break Brook Lopez so he doesn't block him. That's tough to do. But he was doing a pretty good job. Jakob Poeltl, 6 of 11 from the field, 4 offensive rebounds, 10 rebounds altogether, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 2 turnovers, a -9 with 12 points in 22 minutes. Everybody be like, why did you pick him as your number 1 star of the game? I just felt like he just deserved it. I was watching him out there, and the things that he does are just so fundamentally important for us. And some of it doesn't have anything to do with the box score. I mean, he was fine. He got a double-double, but still, it's the box score. I'm telling you. Off the bench, as Gerald put it, he liked what Kelly did last night. So did I. So I made him my 2nd star of the game. Kelly Olynyk off the bench, 19 minutes, 5 of 7 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3. I like Kelly being more aggressive, looking for his 3-point shot. In some ways, we need you to do that, Kelly. That's kind of the switch from Poeltl to Olynyk, is that, Poeltl doesn't have a 3-point threat, but you do, Kelly. So in some ways, when you get switched in as the backup center, when Yak's out, you need to show that side of things so that it keeps the defense of the other team guessing, because, they didn't have to guard the 3 when Jakob's out there at the 5. But when you're out there, they do. And in some ways, you had wide open 3s right when you came in off the bench, partly because of this. And honestly, Kelly, you've been sheepish and weird about taking 3s. You pass off a lot of 3s. I know you're looking around and seeing extra passes. I want you to shoot them. You're getting open shots. Don't hesitate. Just shoot the 3s. We need 3s shot. We need 3s made. And you're a good 3-point shooter. And in some ways, just don't even think about it. If you're any kind of daylight opening, just shoot it. Don't hesitate. Please, Kelly Olynyk. Just shoot it. 5 of 7 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3, 3 of 6 at the free throw line. Yeah, what is up with shooting half percent the free throw line, Kelly? You're a vet. You shouldn't do that. 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 turnover, a -10 for Kelly, 15 points in 19 minutes. Yeah, he's solid off the bench. He came in and he had an effect. The starters did not start the game well, and they had a bad start right off the bat where we were down right away. And some of the guys that came in off the bench, like Shed and Olynyk, started helping us get back in the game. Jonathan also. So good job, Kelly Olynyk, leading the bench and helping to kind of come back in the game a couple times. My 3rd star of the game is RJ Barrett. I picked RJ. I could have picked a couple different people here, but I picked RJ. And even though I said this in the stream chat last night, in the chat, I said RJ is on the down low slumping right now, guys. He's slumping. He's had some games where he has not scored a whole lot. Has not been making his 3s very well right now. And there's a lot more drives to the basket and layups that are not just not falling down. And it's annoying, but the thing is, he's tireless and he just keeps going at it, and he's going to get it to come back around, and he'll start hitting more of them than missing them again. It's just right now on the down low, RJ is actually having a slump. He's had a slump pretty much since he was sick in December. He hasn't been completely the same RJ he was at the beginning of the season, which was so dynamic and badass. RJ has been slowed down with his illness last month, and he's not shooting completely right now. I gave him a star of the game for pluck and just being a badass, and also partly because he got 10 assists last night. And that's something that's really we want to encourage with RJ, is him to continue to try and get a lot of assists, because it's very helpful. 7 of 16 from the field for RJ. He was shooting so bad early, but he made up for it a little bit more later. 3 of 7 from 3. So he did have some 3s that eventually went down. 4 of 6 at the free throw line. Not the best. 4 rebounds, 10 assists, 1 steal, 2 turnovers, 21 points for RJ in 29 minutes. I'll give an honorable mention to Scotty Barnes and also to Bruce Brown, but that's it for them. I'll do their stats in just a sec. Let's see. Randolph's here. Weekend blessings, beloved Raptor Freaks. Most informative gang. Every disappointment can lead to new appointments if you see and accept the opportunities provided. That's interesting. Yeah, sometimes things don't work out the way you wanted them to, and it could be a disappointment, but it's diverting you to actually something that's much better for you, and that you should honestly trust the flow of life and understand that your higher power out there is looking out for you, and sometimes it protects you from the thing that isn't good for you, even though you think it is the best thing for you, but it isn't. And that you get directed to the next thing, which is actually the better thing for you. Thank you, Randolph, for your blessings and your words of wisdom, and blessings to the Phillips family and all the Rapper Freak families. That's right. Nako saying, I thought Scotty's defense was good. Seems like an unimpressive Scotty game, but his stat line is so good. Yeah, that's why I gave him an honorable mention. He didn't score enough last night. That is the biggest problem with Scott last night. But a lot of the things he did out there were really fantastic. Scotty was 35 minutes, 4 of 16 from the field. He was really bad in the first half. He was like 1 for 16 at halftime or something like that. He's like one. It was really crazy. It was like it was actually 1 for 11. And that's really bad. So in the second half, he made most of the shots he took. It's just in the first half, he couldn't buy a basket and he missed so much. 0 for 6 from 3 for Scott. In some ways, I didn't agree with how he was trying to find his shot and get open. He was picking the wrong times, like trying to start outside. No, work your way from the inside out, Scott. And, I know it's tougher for you to do this against a team like Milwaukee because you've got Giannis, you've got Brook Lopez, you got Bobby Portis, you got these really big veteran defensive players that are very hard to score on. And that's part of the problem why Scott struggled last night is because it's harder for him to operate against this particular team. And well, over time, he's going to learn. I mean, that's the great thing. Alvin kind of hinted about it on the broadcast last night that Scotty Barnes over time is going to learn his opponents better and better and how to break them down and take it to them. And the Bucks are a little bit of a higher level for him to try and figure out how to do this turnaround jump shooting stuff. He did make a couple of them, but not enough. And yeah, 4 for 16 from the field, just not good shooting. 2 for 2 at the free throw line, though. 8 rebounds, 10 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 3 turnovers, minus 14 with 10 points. That's the other thing. He was almost going to get a triple-double with barely the bare minimum. 10 points, 10 assists, 8 rebounds, 2 rebounds away from a triple-double, 10, 10, 10. Yeah, that's not Scotty. It's a more meteor stat line normally. But the things I'll say about what's going on out there with Scott are that all right, the things that are important. He's continuing to take that role of being the top guy, like I was talking about earlier. He's continuing to take it to the top star on the other side. He's continuing to direct and be energetic. In some ways, he's all over the place on the court defensively and after loose balls. And that, in some ways, is a big, huge thing of what Gerald's talking about as far as the things that Scott's doing on the court that aren't exactly in the box score. There's a lot that he's doing on the court that's just not showing up, hustle stuff. So, in some ways, I'm not mad at Scott. I think that offensively, yes, he should have had a way better game, but it's tough against a team like Milwaukee in some ways too. And the fact that him and Jonathan were doing a pretty good job on Giannis at times too was pretty good too. And the crazy thing was he was guarding Dame Lillard also. So it's not like Scotty was guarding the 2 top guys at on and off and really different results of success. But yeah, Scotty, okay with that. Let's go down the rest of the line. Davion Mitchell, 4 for 6 last night starting, 1 of 3 from 3, 1 of 1 at the free throw line, 3 assists, 2 turnovers, not a good assist to turnover ratio, 10 points in 30 minutes. Davion was dogged and he was out there doing what he does. And in some ways, but he wasn't as effective as he normally is. In some ways, it was the turnovers. In some ways, it was also the fact that he just didn't. How do I say this? In some ways, he also didn't do some of the defensive stuff that he normally does. Now, there was one little part where he kept getting offensive fouls on Brook Lopez late in the game, which was hilarious because that's a thing they're calling a lot lately. And I noticed that Davion is really good at getting that call with the refs. Like if he's fighting around the screen and somebody sticks their leg out or their hip out a little bit more, he'll get a foul called on them because he's realized how to really show that the foul has happened with the way he comes around the pick and he has to stumble or fall a little bit. The refs are calling that. And in fact, it was hilarious that they called 2 plays down the court in a row with that offensive foul on Brook Lopez. That was fantastic. And, they were trying to show Lopez, no, you can't do this. And this is a point of emphasis for the referees this year, this particular kind of play that they showed in the beginning of the year, some of the rule changes. And one of them is they're going to call this on people who stick their leg out on picks. because that's part of the way they're trying to combat the extra injuries from really harsh picks. Is they're getting rid of the illegal picks, the dirty ones where people trip people up. And well, that's what that call is. I also liked how Davion was attacking the basket in certain possessions where he would just go aggressively at the basket and get layups. There was a couple trips down the court where he did that when we were trying to keep up with the scoring of Milwaukee. And that was really, really good at that time. Really, really good, because he was helping put water in the jug to match up with the Bucks. And that was OP. Like the way he did that, he could get to the basket and lay it up, and they couldn't do anything about it just because of pure speed. So yeah, good game by Davion in some ways, but also not connecting his teammates like he normally does with the assists. Grady Dick was not bad, honestly. 29 minutes, 5 of 12 from the field. He did miss all of his threes, which is an annoying trend with Grady sometimes. Sometimes he's just off on three, but he does find other ways to contribute. And it's a good thing he's more than just a three-point shooter, because these kind of games would make him look really bad if he's like, oh, I'm just missing all threes, and he doesn't do anything. In some ways, this was kind of like what Gary was doing last year. 3 for 3 at the free throw line. Only 1 rebound for Grady, which is surprising. 3 assists, 1 steal, 13 points for Grady Dick in 29 minutes. He was one of the better plus minuses on our team too. So the time that he was out there, we didn't do too bad. Only a -1. Chris Boucher off the bench, pretty good. He's continued to play pretty well. 15 minutes, 3 of 4 from the field, missed his only 3, 6 rebounds and 6 points in 15 minutes. That's not bad production. Jamison Battle and Garrett Temple came in for a hot cup of coffee at the end in the garbage time. Battle 0 for 2 with 1 rebound with 0 points. Garrett Temple, 3 minutes, 2 points at the free throw line, 1 rebound, and 1 foul for Garrett. And then Jonathan, 16 minutes coming in to kind of he came in very early, actually, and he was playing very good defense while he was out there. 2 for 3 from the field with 1 rebound and 4 points. In some ways, Jonathan, you got to get more rebounds, my guy. You really do. Bruce Brown, one of his better games as a Raptor. You know, of all the games he's been on the Raptors, this may have been on the top 5 of the games he's been, but still it's kind of like, 6 of 11 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3, 3 of 4 from free throw, 6 rebounds, 1 turnover, a -11 with 17 points for Bruce Brown in 20 minutes. He was finding abilities to shoot and make shots a lot more often in this game last night, which was good to see. But still, I'm not impressed. Like, even though he comes out there and he scores so much in this game, that we're not a good team when he's out there. We're a bad team. We're losing usually. And in some ways, he's just making shots because somebody needed to make shots in those situations. So I don't know. In some ways, I should say this. Bruce Brown is an amazing player. He's so good. He's such a good shooter. He's a fantastic defender, and he's also a really good rebounder for his size. Everybody in this league should want him. So trade for him. Please get him. That's what I should be saying about Bruce Brown. Jamal Shed, 18 minutes, 1 of 3 from the field. Missed his only 3-pointer. 1 rebound, 1 assist, 2 points, 1 turnover. So Shed just not effective as a scorer off the bench. Yeah, we got some good bench scoring, though, between Bruce and Kelly. So it wasn't too horrible considering. So, yeah, the Raptors just, we lost by 18. But once again, the referees gave them 20 more free throw attempts than us. So think about it. Think about it right there. There you go. Trevor's saying the first unrivaled gameplay last night in Miami, co-founder Brianna Stewart and Nafisa Collier. The court was pretty cool. 3 versus 3 basketball. Okay, that's what's going on. They started a women's 3 versus 3 basketball league. And a couple of WNBA All-Stars are the ones in charge of it. Okay. Very, very cool. I did not hear about this. I think I saw something about this that you guys posted in the chat. Okay. Nako saying, Scout Derek Queen, Mr. Raptors Freak. All right, here we go. Once again, Gerald's going to come in and get the Scout of the Day because he's just the one who gets here first. He's getting to the spot before everybody else. So we'll go look at Derek Queen. Derek Queen. All right, let me see. All right, Scout of the Day, as requested by Mr. Gerald Mayhew. Derek Queen looks like he plays for the Maryland Terrapins. Okay, Terrapins, ACC. He is 20 years old. He's a center. He's American. He's 6'10". He's 245 pounds. He's from Baltimore, Maryland. And that he has that in common with Emmanuel Quickly, which is good. And he plays for Maryland. He's on the Maryland team. Let's see if they got any stats. He's a 5-star recruit. That's good. That's all looks good right there. All right, let's go see this Derek Queen highlights. Let's go see the scout of the day. Maryland's Derek Queen is the call by there we go. Derek Queen highlights. Let me see if I can get the right time on here. This is the early season highlights, or do we want them? Yeah, early season. It's only 6 minutes. Mid-season highlights, early season highlights. Which one's better? Full court films or league him? I'll do the first one. I'll just go to the top one. All right. All right. We got Derek Queen, Maryland Terrapins, early scout by Lex. Let's see what we got here. Where is he? He's the big man down low fighting. He's 6'10", which is in some ways like not a full center in the league at this point, but kind of, I guess. That's a nice little defensive play right there. He's got a weird body. He doesn't look overly tall. In some ways, he looks like a forward's body, but he is a little bit at a center's height. He looks like he's got some pretty good mobility then because of that. You know, so I don't know why, but he reminds me of OG. He reminds me of OG. I don't know why. There's something about maybe the strength and the length of his arms and actually the way he's dribbling too. There, okay, I see a nice little play. That was pretty patient. Down low, dribble, and then bump the guy and then make a layup. That's a nice grab for the rebound and a putback. You know, once again, it's the college game. Some of this stuff won't translate, but some of it looks pretty good. He's got a big butt. He likes to catch the ball with his back to the basket, which looks good. So he's got post moves. Yeah, it's weird because he's not like a center, Gerald. He's not like a real center. He really is kind of like a forward, like, and to me that's intriguing because if he has center size, but he can do things like in other kind of positions. There he is running the floor really well with a nice layup. That's interesting because he's not lumbering around like a center. He actually has really good mobility. And there we go. Okay, there, he took it right at that guy. That guy was a little bit bigger than him, and he put it up over him. So he's got strength. He's got size. Here he is dribbling the ball up the court like a guard. Look at that. Right up the middle and dunked it. They left the lane open. He just went right up the middle. There's a block. Pretty good timing. It was very close to a goaltend, though. The ball was right about to come back on the other side of the arc, and he got it just in time. See, I don't like, one thing I'll say is I don't like how he's not dunking it. He's kind of like layup guy. In some ways, I wish he'd elevate and throw it down. Like in some ways, he may not have like super, super good hops. There he goes. He should be doing that more. Yeah, this is weird, man. He's almost like a inch or two taller OG Anunoby. I don't expect him to be the same defender. But man, the one thing about this Queen kid that's really interesting is that if he's going to play center, he's a very quick guy. He's very fast around the court. So, where is he like slated in the mock draft? Actually, I have that. I'll go look at it. All right, I've seen enough. This guy reminds me a lot of OG. All right, so this morning, ESPN came out with their top 100 of the draft. Let's go see where Mr. Queen is on this draft sheet. There's, of course, Cooper Flagg at the top, Dylan Harper, Ace Bailey, VJ Edgecombe. So let's see where this guy is, this guy Queen that you just said. And we'll see what they're saying on here because they got the 100. There he is. He's at 14. So they've got him listed at the 14th pick, Gerald. 6'10", Maryland. Queen has been inconsistent in January, but on the whole has been one of the top freshmen, scoring a season-high 27 points in a win against Minnesota this week that showcased his skill level, touch, and footwork. Though he still has work to do on his frame, Queen has slimmed down from his 246-pound starting weight, enabling him to better operate facing up and utilize his range of perimeter skills, difficult to cover for most college bigs in those situations. There have been some concerns from scouts about his motor as well as his lack of rim protection and mobility. He'll need to develop a consistent three-point shot to provide spacing when operating or outside the paint. He has made 2 this season, both of which came in a loss at Purdue. So long as Queen continues to produce and drive team success, there will be intrigue thanks to his feel and ability to create for teammates out of the front court. The Terrapins rely heavily on him, and he has a runway to prove himself well into March. And that's okay. That's interesting. So in that article, they're saying that he was heavy and he lost weight because I don't see mobility being a problem with him. I can see the motor thing they're saying that guy may get tired very easily up and down the court really fast. So it sounds like on his list of things he needs to work on are 3-point shooting and in his body and continuing to get more athletic and conditioning. So, wow, that's not a bad player. It's weird, though, because I wouldn't describe him as a center. I describe him as a big forward that's very talented. In fact, he may play the same position Scott plays. That guy right there that we just saw. Interesting scout, Mr. Derek Queen, Mr. Raptor Freak, Mr. Naco the Nacho. Thank you, Naco, for the scout of the day. Derek Queen of Maryland. A very interesting player. In fact, he's a weird one, man. I like him, though. If Masai and Bobby like him and they decide to pull the trigger on him because they like him from what they saw, I'd be happy to have him on our team because he looks like he's got some interesting skills for his size. For his size, yeah. Let's see. Tristan saying, Lex, the Raptors YouTube GOAT. Thank you, man. I've been trying to keep this going. I want to stay humble here. I'm just a dude who loves the Raptors, who likes to talk about them every morning on YouTube. And I appreciate you, Tristan. Raptor Freak Tristan, always salute to you, sir. And I appreciate the recognition, man. Wayne saying, morning, Raptor Freaks. Referees' decisions in the first 3 minutes decided the outcome of the game, plain as day. Whenever I see referee number 34, I know the fix was in. You're talking about Cutler. Yeah, I mean, the big ref, I knew he was going to be bad. And even from the jump ball, they were kind of weird. We did get the jump ball. We won it, but they threw it. He always throws in a weird way. Cutler's such a big guy, right? Because he's 6'7" himself. And you can see how big he is compared to all the other, to the players. He's as big as the players. And what he does is he does a really weird thing with the jump ball. I've noticed him do this in other games in the past. And he kind of did it at the beginning of the game last night, is where he uses his own size in the jump ball to kind of like screen out one of the jumpers to not be able to get the ball, or he'll turn into the throwing up of the jump. Like he does this little turn with his jump ball toss, and he'll turn into a way where it might hurt one of the guys who's trying to jump for the ball and gives an advantage to the other team to get the ball right away. Yeah, I've noticed that with him because he's so big, he can do this. Most of the referees are just trying to get the hell out of the way. Well, meanwhile, Kevin Cutler has the size and ability to screen out a player on the jump ball if he wants to. But yeah, Wayne, I completely agree with you. This was a very concerted decision by the league and the refs to hand this game to Milwaukee right away by absolutely chopping us up in the beginning with foul calls and weirdness and all that kind of stuff. It is what it is. I mean, in some ways, we got to expect this. And if the Raptors play perfect basketball and we do things, we can still beat all this. That's the crazy thing. Tristan said Yak is our only big and has to run a lot. Yeah. And he's doing fantastic. He really is having the best year of his career. And honestly, I think that Yak is really enjoying this year too. Even if the losing's happening and stuff like that, I think he's really having fun. Like, I think he's enjoying the team camaraderie. And I think he loves challenges. I think that's the biggest thing that y'all need to realize about Jakob. He's not necessarily a ring chaser. He wants to play in the NBA and compete, and he wants to be challenged. And in some ways, he's getting challenges, and he's flourishing because we're getting to see him do all kinds of crazy stuff, like put the ball on the floor and dribble around people. He's been doing all kinds of, like, it was crazy. He had Brook Lopez on him, and they're a little bit away from the basket. He recognized that he could drive on Brook Lopez, and he's driving on Brook Lopez all of a sudden. I've never seen Jakob do this kind of stuff with this kind of confidence his whole entire career. So there's a lot of stuff going on with him. It's very fun right now. G saying, did they play timid in the first quarter? The Raptors? No, I didn't think so. They were meeting them pretty good. It really was this kind of thing, G, where down the court when we were on the Milwaukee side, the whistle was blowing, and every time on our side, nothing was getting called. In fact, they gave the Bucks like 20 free throws in the game before they gave us our first game free throw. Like, seriously, if that doesn't tell you right there just how convoluted and crazy it was, because it's right from the start, Giannis got a free throw shots right in the first minute of the game. And by the end of the first quarter, he had shot 11 free throws. And I think Dame had shot like 6, and the Raptors had shot 0. So right from the start, the bias of the calls at the two ends of the court were a huge factor in building the lead for Milwaukee. Now, we weren't the sharpest. We were missing shots, but also at the same time, Milwaukee was getting help by giving them point opportunities almost every time down the court, whether they made a shot or not, because the whistle would get called. And boom, all of a sudden, Giannis was barely getting touched, and they treated him like such a golden boy last night. Like, that's the problem. In some ways, the golden boy rules of the NBA are still there. If you're Giannis Antetokounmpo and you have a reputation and somebody just breathes on you, they're going to put you on the line. Meanwhile, Scotty is getting hammered and hacked, and there's no respect for him at all at the other end. So that's a lot of it right there, G. If you didn't see the beginning of the game, it was kind of one of those whistles on at one end of the court and it's not at the other end. In fact, at one point, you could hear Scotty in the first quarter say, they have 7 free throws already. How many do we have? He said it straight up. You could hear it on the microphone in the game. Trevor's saying Davion's defense caused a lot of turnovers for the Bucks. Yeah, he's been fantastic, and I really, really want him on our team for the future. That's right. Tristan saying RJ is good as fuck. He's slumping right now, and he's still managing to try and do things to help carry and do things that he can to try and help us. In fact, he was shooting so poorly from 3 early in the game. I was like, man, RJ, just stop, man. It's so bad. But he didn't. He kept shooting, and he shot his way out of it. In the second half, he made a bunch of threes later in the game to try and help us get back on stuff. So I love that he just didn't listen to me. Obviously, he didn't because he can't hear me, but he didn't let himself get down by missing so much. He kept going. That's the stuff that I want from him and Grady. They can't have any kind of like second guessing and being like, oh, man, I'm not shooting good, I should stop. No, they need to continue to shoot. And they did. And it worked out for RJ because he started hitting them later. But we're in a tough place. It's like Alvin said last night. We're playing against 2 Hall of Fame guys. We're playing against a top Eastern team. We're playing against the refs. And our top scorer, Scotty, is ice cold. And also, on top of that, Grady and RJ are not hitting threes. And we're hanging with Milwaukee still, somehow, some way. I mean, there's some good stuff in that, considering so much was going wrong all at the same time, and we weren't completely blown out. That's pretty good, yeah. Nako's saying it didn't feel like they were playing as good as from the stretch since the Cavs, like what I saw from RJ. It didn't feel like they were playing as good as the stretch since the Cavs. I'm not totally sure what you mean. All right. Listen, this is what Bruce Brown said after the game. He said, I feel like our effort wasn't as strong as it could have been to try and win this game. Sure. Now, one of the things this week that have been fantastic against the Warriors and the Celtics is the amazing team effort on defense. And that was a huge factor against the Celtics and holding them down and not letting them get going in any kind of substantial way on offense. Last night, we could not do that. In some ways, the referees made sure of that by putting them on the line. As Alvin said last night, Giannis got his rhythm for his game from going to the free throw line. And that sucks. In some ways, that's the worst. So, maybe the effort wasn't as high as it was in the 2 home games this week. And maybe the referees were against us, and maybe the Bucks were a little bit more on it. And there were a couple different factors like that. Tristan saying things don't always work out the way you expect. Yeah, it's just that way. And in some ways, when they don't work out the way they are, go with the flow of life. Don't go against it. Because in some ways, you don't want to screw up something good that you're just about to walk into because you held on to the old stuff that you thought was for you, but it wasn't really supposed to be for you. And the new thing is the new thing for you. So, yeah, I would say that, Tristan, for sure. Doubling down on the words of wisdom today. G saying, I think considering the bigs and paint defense, RJ was still able to get to the rim. Davion was able to find a way to get to the rim, too, in a smart way. Yeah, Davion was pure speed. He just put those burners on and blasted himself to there, and he just barely made those. Because, Brook Lopez is a factor. He is a true shot blocking threat, and he is part of the reason why Milwaukee has such a great defense. It's really hard to score near the basket against them when he's in the game. And, RJ has problems against big lineups doing his drive layups. There's usually somebody like Jared Allen or somebody like that that's down there that makes it hard for him to finish the shot. And well, Brook Lopez is that guy last night. So it's tough. If he's not making his three and he's not able to go down low because there's bigs near the basket, RJ has to figure out how to get his points somehow, some way, whether it's at the free throw line or maybe little turnaround, like little patient shots, mid range, stuff like that. Yeah. Tristan saying Raps seemed out of rhythm in the first quarter. Yeah, I mean, that's probably true. In some ways, yeah, things weren't going right for them right from the start. They've been very smooth to start games recently. Maybe there's a little bit of bobbling balls. Maybe there's a missed shot that they normally would have made, like a layup that just rimmed out, stuff like that. Yeah, there was definitely a little bit of that where they needed to settle down and kind of get in the game. But still, like I said, the referees weren't making it easy for them. And add in that Milwaukee came out aggressive with Doc Rivers' game plan to try and mess up our passing offense. And it's hard to get settled into what you're trying to do to score for yourself. So, yeah, there's a little bit of all that. G saying when Scotty and RJ both attack the paint together, it looks so much better. They are much too bullish to not use their bodies. The thing about them, man, and we saw it again last night, there's a synergy between RJ and Scotty that is absolutely fantastic. We see it in fast breaks where they're like just effortlessly, smoothly passing between each other, and then one of them's laying it in. We see it in just like the way that they set each other up. There's really, really a lot of unselfishness between Scotty and RJ, but also at the same time, high aptitude and scoring ability in both of them also. So it's a joy to watch them, and they are very connected and locked in. In fact, I feel like the synergy between Barnes and Barrett right now is the best synergy out of any two players on our team right now. They're just that high level and that unselfish and that good. And that it's cool to watch them play off each other. When you see a Barrett to Barnes or a Barnes to Barrett basket, it's pretty cool usually what you see them do, whether it's the pass or whether it's whatever they did. It's fantastic, man. It's so good. So good. Let's see. We got a new name in here. I talk Raptors every morning, 9:30 a.m. every single day of the year, 365 days a year. We're either previewing, reacting, or doing off season, doing whatever. I cover the Toronto Tempo coming up when they come into the WNBA and Team Canada basketball for men's and women's and the 905. So everything you want Canadian basketball wise from those entities, this is the place. That's right. Andrew's saying all that matters now is a high lottery slot. No, Andrew. No, it doesn't. That's not what matters now. What matters now is to continue to develop and get better as a team whole and try and win still. I know a lot of people in Raptors Nation are confused right now because they believe in tank culture, but tank culture is not winning culture. Tank culture does not work, and tank culture is for losers, and people that purport tank culture are losers, is what I'm going to say, Andrew. You don't want to be a loser, Andrew. Understand this. Masai Ujiri is a genius as a drafter. He knows talent, and it doesn't matter where he drafts in the draft. He'll get somebody good. He can pick at 19, he'll get Jacoby Walter. He'll pick at 43, he'll get Jamal Shett. He'll pick at 13, he'll get Grady Dick. So I don't give a shit where we pick. We don't have to pick in the top of the draft. I want us to finish in the way that we're supposed to. And tank commanders, y'all just need to shut up. Because honestly, that is not the right strategy for our team. It'll be damaging to our team in the years later when we're trying to win. You can ask the Philadelphia 76ers. They're the best example of this. Have the Sixers won a championship since they did the process? Since they tanked on purpose to try and get high draft picks and get somewhere in the league? No, they didn't, Andrew. So it's a failed concept and a failed idea. So, and Raptors fans that are carrying this, it's just because they're sad and miserable because we're losing so much and they need something to feel good about. Well, I'll tell you right now, this is the channel you need to watch if you need the truth. And the truth is tanking culture doesn't work. Tanking is stupid. And we're going to play to win every single game. If we don't win, we don't win. But we'll get the pick that we get, and whichever pick it is, Masai Ujiri will make the best draft pick possible at that pick, and we will get good quality. And I don't care if we get number 1. We don't need Cooper Flagg. I don't care if we get number 3. I don't care if we get number 5. We can get whatever pick in the top 10, and we're going to be good no matter what because we have one of the best front offices in this league, and they're going to pick the best damn player they can get at whatever pick. And plus, once again, we don't determine where we pick, Andrew. The ping pong balls do. So why the fuck will we lose on purpose just to let a ping pong screw us over and we still pick 10th or something like that? You could look at Atlanta. Atlanta was a play-in team last year. They won the ping pong balls and they got the first pick. Did they deserve the first pick? No. Detroit was supposed to get it because they were the worst team, but they didn't get it. So nothing's guaranteed. And tank culture and tank mentality is stupid as fuck. And that's all I got to say on that, Andrew. So, yeah, all that matters now is to continue to develop and get better as a team and try and win our best to win every game going out for the rest of the season. Because we need to build on the build. We don't need to stand around and watch like contractors do, delaying a project. Oh, we'll start building next week. No, we need to tank for a while and just sit here and let it just, no, we need to fucking get on the project and start winning and doing as best as we can right now. Because the hard part of the season's over and the easy part of the season's coming up and we're starting to hit our stride. So tank commanders, people who want us to only lose, well, you're going to be upset because we're probably going to win a lot more for the rest of the season than y'all want to. And you know what? That's fine with me because I understand Masai Ujiri is going to make the best out of whatever pick he gets. So there you go, Andrew. Welcome to the channel. And understand we're anti-tank here. And if you bring a tank mentality in here, well, you're going to get an answer like what you just got. There you go. Tristan saying, always love how RJ is fearless, the basket. Yeah. Yeah, he's awesome, man. He plays for us, man. He's one of us. And he understands. There's no denying his. And the thing is, the great thing about having somebody like RJ on your team like that, with that feeling of for the city, from the city, this is my city, I'm playing for my team, is that it rubs off on people like Scotty. I know Scotty's embraced Canada very, very, very intimately since he's come here 4 years ago. But in some ways, you can't get that side of feeling until you see somebody like RJ come here or Kelly and AJ Lawson. They come in and they're like, man, this has been my dream, Sky. I grew up watching Vince Carter and the Raptors, and I always wanted to play for the Raptors. And now I'm wearing this jersey and sitting in this locker room with you. Pitch me. And Sky's like, wow, man. This does mean something to some people. You know, this is passion. This is love. And he already had it. But when you see it from a hometown person like RJ Barrett or Kelly Olynyk, it probably hits a little closer. And in some ways, it could actually even bond Scotty closer to Toronto because of the love RJ has for his hometown. Think about that. Seriously. Your leadership goes in all kinds of different ways on teams. It could be Davion teaching leadership on how to point of attack defense for the other guards on the team or anybody else. It could also be that hometown pride and loving that you're playing for your hometown team and your dream has come true. You know, I'm telling you right now, man. I'm telling you. Let's see. Andrew saying Raps will be major sellers at the deadline. I don't think so. I don't think so. There is truth that they are involved in possible talks with Jimmy Butler's situation as a third team to help facilitate that deal. And I would be surprised if something happens like that, if there's maybe like a Bruce Brown move within that. But I don't, major's a very strong word. And that's why Tristan's saying major? Nah, we're never major on any of that kind of stuff. We're a lot more subdued and we just kind of go along with our business, very methodical, plotting kind of decisions. Last year was not normal. Last year with all the trades and the things we did was absolutely abnormal. Last year was not normal for us to get 5 new rookies this year. There's a lot of things we're doing differently because of the reset rebuild. But this is not going to be one of them. They're not going to be major sellers. I mean, that's saying a lot. I say they may trade one guy before. They may trade 2. That's it. But they're not going to be major sellers. What does that mean even? What does that mean? Tristan saying maybe Chris Brown and perhaps one other than that. Charlie Brown? You mean Charlie Brown? Charlie Brown? I don't know. Let's see. You mean Bruce Brown. That's who you mean. Chris Brown? Why did your spell correct default to Chris Brown? I guess he's in your music list. Chris Brown. Yeah. I don't know. Tristan saying, we need another big. Hopefully at front office understands that. Now, that could be part of what happens in the Jimmy Butler deal is that we're the third team involved and somehow, some way we get another big through there. It could possibly be that they're just looking to get more draft picks and they get a bunch of second round picks or something like that. Who knows? We'll have to see. In some ways, it'd be very convenient if they could help Miami and another team get the deal done. And we could also get Bruce Brown out of here all in the same deal. That would be fantastic. In some ways, that should be the priority. You know, I know people are saying we're going to trade Chris and Jakob, but I think they're full of shit. It could be that Chris is more likely than Jakob. It's not likely we're going to trade Pirtle, but it could be that we trade Chris. But if they trade Bruce because they can get rid of Bruce in a Jimmy Butler trade, that'd be awesome because that's something we do need to do. We do need to try and trade Bruce. That is for sure right now. Yeah, we do. That's right. Tristan saying could have had a Koloko and or Edie. Yeah, I don't know. Zach Edie wasn't going to happen. Koloko, whatever. That whole situation, in some ways, Koloko is a nice idea, and I wish the young man well. But let's not get it twisted. This guy is not as good as everybody thinks he is. And just going on and on about Koloko, he's a very good shot blocker. He has a lot of potential, but he screwed up because he left the Raptors, and he could have developed here way better than the Lakers. Lakers have not got a good development track record, and that's kind of dumb. You want to go play with LeBron for a little while, Christian? You go ahead. You go ahead and you do your clutch thing. But honestly, they're not going to help you get better as a team, as a player. The team's not going to help you. You would have done better here in Toronto under Darko, and you would have gotten to be a better NBA player, and you would have had a longer career. So you go ahead, take a short career in LA with Rich Paul and LeBron now, because you're not going to develop and you won't stick around. Watch. Bet my words right there. That's right. You love his dribbling and passing. You're talking about Queen, the scout of the day. You like his dribbling and passing? Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah. Io equals a power forward. Yeah, he looked like a power forward to me. His size isn't big enough for some of the big centers in the NBA as far as things. Tristan saying Raptors need another defensive rebounding big, in my opinion. I agree, Tristan. I do. Tristan, now I don't have a timeout on this right now. I don't want you to spam comments over and over again because I see that you're kind of monopolizing the chat. I took the timeout off because we were having issues with it the other day. But I don't want people to go crazy too and just flood the chat with a lot of stuff. So we'll keep going. But I appreciate this comment, man. You saying bro is actually the best Raptors YouTube creator. I appreciate that, Tristan. Seriously, all I'm trying to do is be for the team. And a lot of these jokers that come on YouTube and other places to do Raptors content are more about promoting themselves or trying to look cool and shit like that. No, I don't give a shit about that. I look like an idiot every day. I mean, I have a fucking beaver puppet here. I mean, come on. No, it's about the passion for the team that I have and being a real one and not being like a toxic fan as far as this team sucks. I hate them and kicking them while they're down. Just being they're in a really bad place right now and they need fans like us more than ever. Fans that they know will stand by them no matter what. Not fair weather fans, not fans that are going to come to the game and sit in the stands and be quiet and only cheer if they're winning. No, I go to the game and I cheer even if they've only got 9 wins for the season. I go to the game and cheer, even if they're down by 20, because that's the real one that I am. And I want all the other Raptors fans to be like that too, is to go there and cheer against the other team and do the defense chants all throughout the game, no matter what the score is or a record is. Our Raptors are our team, and we need to get behind them. And they don't get better. They'll get better with our help by helping give them a better home court advantage. So Raptors fans, if you go to home games, even if the tickets are high and it's stupid, even if the team is shitty and it's not winning, be blind to it and just go out there and cheer for them. Quite often the other team will take us out of the game by making a dunk or this. You let them have that power, Raptors fans. You could be crazy like me and just cheer no matter what the reaction to whatever is happening on the court. You just do it. That's what I'm saying. Tristan, I appreciate you, man. Because you're being so kind and stuff, I don't care that you flooded my comments. I appreciate you, man. Nako's saying best available at the top over fit. We can think about fit in the second round. Yeah, I agree with this. That's normally the right kind of drafting strategy for any sport or any team in anything, is get the best quality talent at the top of the draft. The very most talented guy, doesn't matter what position, if you need it or not, you get the guy who's the most value, because in some ways that player could be somebody that even if they don't fit with your guys, you can trade for high value or something like that. So I agree with this. This draft strategy is sound. And then the second round and the later you draft for need and who's around there that you like that kind of fits with what you do need. I totally agree with this. That's right. Tristan's saying nobody else goes live like this and can always Yeah, and can always trade the guy, Nako. That's right. Yeah, what I was saying. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. And the other thing is I realize people are excited about talking about the Raptors and they want a place to express their opinions like you guys are doing here as far as talking about it. And, it's one thing to be on message boards or little websites on Facebook and stuff like that, but to actually have something like this on a show and able to, like, other Raptors fans are coming to watch it too. And, we're like a hive mind. And in some ways we have our intentions in the best place for Masai Ujiri, for the Raptors, for the team, for Scotty Barnes, for Darko, for them to succeed. Because sometimes I question some of the Raptors content that's out there. What are your intentions? Are your intentions to burn the fucking thing down to the ground? Because it sounds like it, the way you talk about them and the way you want to fire everybody or you want to trade everybody. Yeah, seriously, what is your intention as a Raptors content creator? Is it to see more Larry O'Briens come to Toronto? Because that's what mine is. That's what mine is. But some of the other ones out there, I'm not sure what your goals are as content creators that focus on Raptors as a subject. I don't get it sometimes. Some of y'all are very, very negative and not looking out for the team in good ways. Honestly. Yeah, absolutely, Tristan. We can trade that top pick if we have to. That's right. One of a kind. That's right. G saying, yes, that ref was horrible. Gave Giannis and Dame the softest calls. Didn't even see the foul on some of them. Meanwhile, Yacht was being pushed. Yeah, it was very one-sided. It was an 8-versus-5 game last night. And I kind of knew it was going to be. Just the parameters going in the game, knowing the three refs and their profiles and what they're like, I knew that they would do this. CJ Washington has never, ever been nice to the Raptors. Never. And his record shows. He has like a 30% winning percentage for the Raptors in the last 9 years. How bad have the Raptors been in the last 9 years? That's the build up to the championship. So you got all those excellent years, the 4 years before the championship, and then you got the 5 years since. Yeah, I can understand some of the games going bad since, but man, he shouldn't have such a poor record with the Raptors in that last 10 years if you consider how good our team has been half of those last 10 years. So yeah, that really is a good indicator. I get it. Every game's different. Some days the Raptors are really bad. They just happen to have CJ Washington, boom, or whatever. But the referees' records with our team can be good indicators of the probability, obviously, of whether we're going to win or not. Because if the referees have low percentages with us, well, we're probably not going to win because there may be on the down low an underlying prejudice against the Raptors, even in some unconscious way with that ref. And CJ Washington strikes me as one of those guys. He was that shorter, bald ref. Kevin Cutler, the big one. Those two are the worst. Hussey's a little neutral. He's too young. In some ways, he's just going along with the crew. He had calls that actually went for the Raptors at times, but also that went against, obviously. He was a little 50-50. There were a couple calls that CJ called for us. There were like maybe two the whole entire game. Most of the calls were all from Milwaukee otherwise, as far as things. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Tristan saying, I like when they break out of the scheme. Attack. Darko said that's feasible. Yeah. That's one of the things we got to figure out is that, some of the teams that aren't as good on defense, we can run our offense on. Like Golden State was really bad on defense. And you could see how easily we could run our offense on them. And Boston was lazy on Wednesday. We could run our offense on them. But with Milwaukee, who plays a little bit more better on defense, it's hard for us to get into a really good offensive system that Darko has sometimes. It will get better as we learn each other better and we understand. And there's signs that we can do it against Milwaukee because we saw some pinpoint passes in the lane where people were getting very nice cut layups like Grady and RJ. And that's the thing. It's just that getting it really pinpointed and really accustomed to each other and understanding their tendencies will get better and better and better. It's so true. You have to build chemistry. And in some ways, against a very, very good defense like Milwaukee, you have to be so right on it with some of those passes, right thread the needle. It's really hard. And that's one of the things. The better defensive teams the Raptors have struggled against on offense because they have good scouting and they're figuring out what our system is and they know how to stop it. So we have to adjust and make a little bit of a difference. With Scotty, it's very interesting because they're going to have to adjust how they guard Scott more and more. And when they start bringing the double team to him, like they did last night a couple times, he's made them pay by dumping the ball off to Jakob, and all of a sudden he's getting a dunk. So there's going to be weird waves of adjustment with the team as a whole and with individuals like Scotty, where the defensive schemes that are brought against us by other teams are going to become in different ways. And Scotty, because he's so good in all kinds of different ways, it's going to be fun to see him take them apart each time they try and come at him with a different adjustment. whether it's they start doubling him and he starts just letting his teammates go crazy because he is that top-notch, crazy good passer, or they don't and he destroys them one-on-one because he can do that also. So yeah, we're gonna have to see how Scotty navigates all this, and also the team as a whole with how defenses adjust and with what we're doing. Because Darko's like that. Darko's system isn't just this passing, cutting system that's all over the place that we've seen that's unselfish and works so well. If he has that messed up, he has to switch it. And he has all kinds of ideas how to do different variations of it in vibration or in accordance to whatever the defense is trying to do to us. What's the antidote? What's the antidote offensive scheme that gets around the defensive scheme that they're pulling on us? There's always an adjustment, and it's cyclical. It comes around. It's like the snake that eats its tail. It's a certain point. Well, the basketball theory is like, well, if they do this, they double, you pass out. Okay, if they don't double, well, then you beat them up down low. There's always a protocol for whatever the defense is showing you. And the Raptors are going through those stages of learning. Well, these are the adjustments Doc Rivers are going to make to try and stop our offense. Well, these are the adjustments that Darko's going to make our offense get around those adjustments from the defense. That's what I'm saying right there. It's going to be awesome, man. I'm all about it. G saying, actually, Raps made more shots until mid-third quarter, but they had 20 more free throws. Yeah, we were busting our ass. And they were getting easy trips to the free throw line. I have to say that Giannis did shoot well from the free throw line last night, and that was a huge factor to help them. Sometimes he's not very good at the free throw line. He was 11 of 18 last night. 35 points for Giannis, 13 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 6 turnovers, though. Him and Dame were crazy. They got over 60 points between the two of them. I believe that's 61 points that they got. 61 points out of their 130 points were by the two of them. Yeah, fantastic stuff. And Lillard was on too. Let's not get it twisted. I saw Lillard play one of his best games as a Buck, just for me personally, because I don't watch all the Bucks games, and I've only seen the ones against Toronto. This was the best game he's had as a Buck since he came there against Toronto, was last night. Because usually he's not this good. We do a good job of kind of guarding him and keeping him held down. Yeah. Tristan saying, nobody doing it like Lex. Good stuff, y'all. Love y'all. Thank you, Tristan. Love you too, man. And thanks for being a long-time Raptor freak watching my channel for a while. Yeah. You want to love this team? Come watch the Raptor Freak channel. We'll help you. And we'll keep on top of everything that's going on. Everything. Because I'm watching everything, man. Slug saying, a particular Raptor YouTuber thinks Davion will be out of the league next year. Oh, let me guess. Is it he shall not be named, the idiot Pensere? Yeah, man, that's so dumb, man. Like, what is your job, Robert? Is your job just to put down NBA players? I'm guessing it's him. If it isn't, all due respect, I apologize. Seriously, Davion Mitchell is a fantastic NBA player. This is the crazy thing. Modern NBA fans do not understand role players like older fans do. Not everybody needed to score. Not everybody needed to do this. Dennis Rodman existed in this league at one point, people. Hello. In some ways, it's like the idea of everybody has to be a scorer and a three-point shooter is ridiculous, NBA fans. Y'all are crazy. This is not how this league used to be. There was, and the other thing is people are so disrespectful to very bona fide good NBA players that get good points on the regular level. Back in the day, nobody was dissing Jeff Grayer. No, Jeff Grayer was in the NBA, even though he was just a middle of the pack kind of player, not a superstar, not anything like that. But nobody cared. Nobody was like, yeah, Jeff Grayer is such a scrub. What do you mean? Jeff Grayer is in a rotation on the Milwaukee Bucks and he plays in the NBA. He's like one of 500 people in the world that does that. That's the thing that people don't get in this stupid NBA fandom, like casual kind of shit, is that to make the NBA, to make the G League is such an accomplishment. And these losers at home that put down players that are in the league like Davion or whoever else, you never even fucking get close to sniffing their jockstrap. You losers is what I'm saying. So don't poo-poo the accomplishments of people like Marquise Noel or other people that have come this close to making the NBA and do what they do. It's so hard. And that's the thing. I don't get it, man. Nobody used to diss Jeff Grayer. Jeff Grayer was just a dude who played in the NBA. He was a journeyman. But now people that are like Jeff Grayer in this league get slagged on in stupid ass ways. These motherfuckers in the NBA making millions of dollars. What the fuck are you doing in your life? I'm just saying, NBA fans, chill out. Stop being so negative. Stop being toxic. Stop being so judgmental and let these players play because they're playing in a league that you never ever even fucking sniffed, is what I'm saying. So why wouldn't people let people just be Jeff Grayer in this league and be good, solid pros that just play? They don't have to be flashy superstars, and you don't have to insult them because they're not SGA. How about that? How about that? Give them some accomplishment just for making the fucking league. Come on now. Yeah, there you go. Davion's not going to be out of the league. That person just shows how stupid they are for saying something like that. Davion's going to be fine. Tristan's saying, since the Knicks game, I've seen defensive improvements. Darko said they could hardly practice. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's for sure. Like that around the Christmas holidays, they had to spend a lot of time with family. And the other thing was the Raptors were on the road around Christmas holidays. And so there wasn't a lot of time just to be at the OVO Center, kind of putting up shots from the convenience of being in Toronto. So this is totally true. And in some ways, that was part of the problem with all the crazy bad games around Christmas was we had one really bad game, but we couldn't practice and fix any of it. And then we went and had another bad game against Memphis, and we couldn't fix anything on that one because we were still on the road and Christmas and all this stuff. And yeah, that's true. And then when we came back here and we finally got some time to clean things up, things look better. Things look better in January in this part of the year now. But yeah, that time we had no time to get film and sit in there and do the stuff that we normally do to fix problems after losses. And there were some really bad losses in a row right around Christmas. That's right. Goddamn stupid. Loser mentality. That's right. That's right. Guaranteed loss for potential win. That's some loser shit. That's right. We can't do this. You build your muscles up by working out. Are you trying to make them worse? Like while you're doing it? No, you're breaking them down and building them up, building them up, building them up. You want to build them up. You don't want to like come in like be weak and then become strong. No, you have to be strong. You have to do the exercise of trying to win every single time. Because if you do it, you fake it. If you try and fake it till you make it or something, or you just like, oh, we're going to like try and win, but we're not. Like a lot of people think we're doing. That's not what's happening right now, y'all. We are trying to win. It's just we're not good enough to win because we don't have the experience as a young team to beat veteran NBA teams that have more experience in the last 5 minutes. So a lot of the losses this year are games that we're going to win down the road when we are more experienced and able to close out games correctly. That's not losing on purpose. That's not ethical tanking. That's just called a young, rebuilding, youthful team, the youngest team in the history of the NBA, the Raptors. This is the youngest average age team in the history of the Raptors this year. That's what it is right there. That's it right there. That's right. Tristan's saying, take it from RJ, y'all, offline experts. That's right. That's right. So like DZ saying, I'm wondering how long term if the team is better off with Scotty at the 4 and we have an elite small forward or Scotty at the 3 with an elite power forward. Man, you know what? That's a great idea, Slug. If Scotty could play 3, that would be insane. I'm always all about slotting guys bigger down the line. Like that's why Scotty point guard is kind of attractive. It's like if he could get to that point, and he can, and he will probably, but he shouldn't be the point guard right now in the stage of his career right now because the goal is to be mined around the basket like Kawhi and doing those turnarounds and all the stuff he's been doing lately. I don't know. It's such a crazy thing. Like it'll be fun to watch Scott's career, how it unfurls over the years and see what phases he goes through because he's not going to be the same player at 1 year in, at 4 years in, at 6 years in, and maybe even at 10 years in. He could be a very different player that evolves over time. So I don't know. The idea of him playing small forward's weird because in some ways that means there's 2 bigger guys on the court bigger than him. And it's going to be, that's going to be cool if there is, but it may be tough. I don't know. It could work. It could work. I like that idea, honestly. Scotty at the 3 somehow. RJ at the 2, Emmanuel at the 1, and then what? A power forward big that kind of sets in between Jakob and Scotty. And then you have those 2 guys taking care of the physical work, and Scotty can concentrate on being the all-round center glue guy that does everything that's needed at any time. He can help bolster the front court 2 bigs, or he can help with the playmaking and the scoring with Emmanuel and RJ. I like it. It's like these. You know what? I'm gonna give you a dunk for thinking out of the box. A lot of people talk about Scotty point guard, but a lot of people have not talked about Scotty small forward. And I think that that's a very, very intriguing topic right there. Slug DZ, you're getting your second dunk of 2025. You're at 6 points now. Boom goes the dynamite. Boom goes the dynamite. Wow, that's an interesting thought you put in my head there. Cool Cat saying, good morning, Raptor Freak crew. I think Scotty felt bad last night. He covered his face with his towel. Responsibility being a franchise player is no joke. Yeah, I was wondering if anyone was going to mention this. I don't want to talk about this too much because I respect Scott. I love him. And, from spending time with him on Twitch a couple summers ago, I really did get to know him. And he's a very sensitive guy. He's a very emotional guy. He wears his heart on his sleeve. And, he can't help but be who he is with all of his reactions and his passion. And well, he felt it at the end of the game. I think that him and Giannis were talking a lot during this game. There may have been some Dame Lillard talk in there too with him. And, I know there's a general respect between Giannis and Scotty because Giannis has said some very nice things about Scotty Barnes already in press conferences. And I know that Scotty looks up to Giannis as far as like, look, this is a guy who's done it all in this league, and he's one of the best players in the league. And the more I can be like him, the better I'll be, right? It could very well be that there was some smack talk talked about on the court to a certain extent, and Scotty didn't cash his check. And he felt a little bit humiliated a little bit. Yeah, I saw that too. And I don't want to say it or put it on blast in any kind of way. Scotty was emotional at the end of the game, for sure, Cool Cat. And I could tell. I think that in some ways the highs of winning these last two games and then it come crashing down and then losing feeling again can be very, wearing on you. And I think that that's part of it too. In some ways he may feel bad because he played so bad individually in the first half with his poor shooting that he may feel partly responsible for why they lost. And I think you're exactly right. Cool Cat, always good to see you, Coach, in the morning. Coach Cool Cat in the house. That's right. G saying the ping pong balls won't allow Mr. America Cooper to be a Raptor. Yes, I believe there is some manipulation for certain players. If Raptors get the number one pick, we'll change my mind on that. Yeah, I don't even know. Like, once again, I feel like Flag is such overhyped in some ways. Sure, he's had a performance recently that's phenomenal and stuff like that. But once again, I'm like Flavor Flav. Don't believe the hype. In some ways, there's going to be guys that are at the top of this draft that are just as good as him. Could be Ace Bailey. It could be Dylan Harper. I'm just saying, in some ways, it's like, I think everybody's so crazy how they were just like, we got to get number one. We got to get number one. Man, listen, Masai doesn't need number one. If we get number 4, we got Scotty Barnes. Think about that. We get, number 13. We got a player like Grady Dick. So let's just trust in Masai and Bobby. Let everything work out the way it is. I know the losing's tough, Raptors fans, and you want something to look forward to, but this is not what you should be looking forward to as a high draft pick. You should be looking forward to continuing to get W's in the future because our team is growing up and getting better. That's what you should be looking forward to. Not this kind of stuff. No, not this stuff. Smooth's here. Good to see Smooth Brown, man. Hey, man, according to a few insiders, the market for Bruce Brown might be depressed. No kidding. That's why the Raptors are aggressive in wanting to facilitate a 3-way trade to get Jimmy Butler to his desired location. Yeah. And apparently this is crazy. Trevor's saying this in the chat yesterday that Jimmy Butler's suspension's up with the Miami Heat and he wants to return to play, but the teammates do not want him to come back. That his teammates don't like him anymore either. And they said that you turned on us. We don't want you to come back. You're a distraction. So it sounds like even though Jimmy wants to come back and play, and he got suspended without pay, they may not allow him to come back and play for the Miami Heat ever again because that bond is broken and the trust with him and his teammates and his coach has gone out the window. So, yeah, there you go. That's interesting. So Miami is going to be a little bit more. And this is the stuff that Masai is looking for, is teams in bad situations like San Antonio with Kawhi and seeing if they can be opportunists in this situation and get something really good. And Bruce Brown, if he can get traded out because of Jimmy Butler's situation in Miami, that's great, Reggie. I'm all about that. That's it right there. Tristan saying, lose, lose, lose. It's the mentality from the top. It's a mentality from the top down. What kind of culture are you creating? Hang on, it jumped ahead. I want to make sure I read every comment this morning. What kind of culture are you creating? Right. Thought winning was dumb. RH thought winning was dumb. I don't know who RH is. Question. Dark understands playoff experience is important. Oh, RJ thought the question was dumb. Yeah. RJ. You meant RH, RJ. Yeah, I mean, I can't believe that it's gotten to this point that tank culture and tank people are now press people, and they can get into the press room and actually ask tank questions to our coach and players at this point. And well, they get denied, just like a Mutombo stuff. No, 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 don't bring that garbage in here. Obviously, you're a non-athlete if you've never played sports and understood what playing sports and competition's all about. Whichever Raptors reporter asked that question, I'm pretty sure it was either Zatzman. I don't know if it was Zatzman. I think it was Lascaris. Yeah, you've obviously never played competitive sports, Adam, because that's why do we even play, is what RJ said. That's why we play, is to compete. What do you expect? You think we're supposed to lose on purpose? We're doing this on purpose? No, I'm a professional athlete. I play to the excellence of my level that I can get to. And if I didn't get my total best, I'd be cheating myself. And forget about cheating you guys. I'd be cheating myself. That's right. That's right, man. It's crazy. That why would you let tank commander questions come into that locker room? Seriously, nobody needs to be asking that to our players and coach. And you ask any of those kind of questions from the press, well, you're going to get the answer you're going to get, because we got some New York guys on our team now, and they will give you the straight answer that you may not like to hear. Seriously, I've heard Emmanuel and RJ tell these reporters, your question's pretty stupid, straight to their face. Straight up, pretty much. I've seen them do this. It's hilarious. Smooth saying, I know I talked about it before, but the rumblings are getting louder. I can't believe Indiana gave Bruce Brown $23 million. He's garbage. I know. I can't either. It's annoying. And well, they were able to get it on us. In fact, this just passed. Let's do the Instagram stories on this note. And Trevor giving me the sign. It's been 1 year since we traded Siakam. In some ways, it's an anniversary that Siakam wants to celebrate. First of all, Teresa Resch is putting on blast. The Wayne and Teresa Embry Fellowship is open once again. You can apply to become an employee of the Raptors right now until January the 13th, 2025. They're taking applications, and this is a great program. They found some really good people for the Raptors organization through this fellowship, and they continue to do it. And I love that Teresa's putting it on blast as the new Tempo president, and not really totally with the Raptors anymore, is still putting that out there. So y'all apply for the Wayne and Teresa Embry Fellowship to work with the Raptors in the front office. It's a dream job. It would be amazing to do. Seriously, if you're younger than me, because I'm too old for this. I can't get in there now. Yeah, I'm gonna be 50 this year. And in some ways, that's a young man's job to come in, or a young lady's job to come in and get the Wayne and Teresa Embry Fellowship. So go get it. Somebody. That's right. Davion has got, let's see on his stories. Let's see what Davion Mitchell's putting on blast. He's playing 2K last night. You say, if you want to get your numbers, play with my guard. So if you want to play some 2K with Davion Mitchell, he was playing last night. There he is coming into the game. Whoever said that, man, if it was Robert, you're an idiot. Davion Mitchell is starting for the Raptors, and he's going to be in this league. You're an idiot. You see, these people don't value defense enough, is obviously what it is. And maybe it's on the down low, a toxic person who's just trying to cause confusion for a team and continuing to do confusing things, like talking about Fred, Dennis Schroeder, whoever, Pascal. He'll pick different targets. And, well, he wants to target Emmanuel Quickley and Davion Mitchell right now. Well, don't fall for it, Raptors fans. Seriously. Why would you watch a content channel for the Raptors that continually says this Raptors player sucks and we need him off our team? Seriously, that's not your job, bro. That's Bobby Webster's job. And you need to shut the fuck up, is what I'm telling that person. I don't even know if it's Robert. It sounds like it's Robert, though. Sounds like it is. Yeah, there's Davion and workout with Jakob before the game, getting that two-man chemistry between the small guard and the big man. There's A.J. Lawson in that number 0 for the Raptors. I love seeing him in that Raptors jersey. Toronto Tempo boxes all over the GTA, people all over Canada, people getting those boxes and shirts delivered to them. Wow, there's another shirt design I'd never seen before. They've got so much different gear at this point. It's just really going to be impossible to figure out what was new gear, like original gear or not, because there's so much. It's just all of it, all there. And this stuff looks good. I think that the Toronto Tempo stuff looks real, real good. I like the purple. It's a very, very different kind of purple. They're going to call it red, but it's not red. That's a purple. You know that is. That's Grimace red, Grimace purple from McDonald's. You know that's Grimace purple. Slim Duck's playing 50 Cent patiently on his Instagram stories, and it sounds like he's waiting patiently, possibly to get traded, is what it seems like with this story right here. I don't know, Chris. Either way, it's going to be Beautiful, whatever happens for you. I just want something good for you. I'd love it for it to be still in a Raptors jersey. But if it's time and this is what's got to happen, well, I'll trust in Bobby Masai. They make the right decision. Jamal Shed saying, happy birthday to Tyler Perry. And I didn't know it was his birthday yesterday because he's G League. And I don't keep totally the birthdays of all the G League players that come in because there's a lot of them. But happy belated birthday to Tyler Perry, who had his birthday yesterday. He turned 24 yesterday. And Jamal Shed saying happy birthday to him on his Instagram. So there you go. I put him on the calendar, though, after that. There's the shoot around from before the game yesterday with Scotty in Milwaukee. You guys, did you like the Milwaukee court last night? I thought it was an interesting design. I thought it was kind of cool how it covered up the Subway ad. But that little swooping line on there, I actually didn't mind it. I was low-key kind of minimalist and kind of an interesting court design. I didn't hate it. I thought it was kind of cool with the state of Wisconsin in the middle and that streak over the blue streak over the classic hardwood court of wood. I thought it was pretty good. Me personally, I know everybody's going to have different opinions on it, but I liked the court look last night in Milwaukee. It was different. Let's just put it that way. It was a different look. Matt Devlin with the highlight of RJ with the pass off to Kelly. That was straight up Team Canada play. That's one of the things I love. Like, all right, they had the starters out there for a little bit with Kelly instead of Jakob at center. And I really like that look. It was RJ, Scotty, Davion, Grady, and Kelly. And the thing about it is Kelly and RJ have accrued chemistry from Team Canada years. That one of the beautiful things about those two being on our team is they have so much work together from playing for Canada. And well, there was some of that showing up in the game last night with RJ and Kelly playing off each other. I was like, oh, that's a Team Canada play right there that they just did. Because they do have a lot of time spent together from that part of their careers. And that's a great bonus to the Raptors. I mean, think about it. When RJ and Kelly go to Team Canada practices, in some ways, the work that they put in there will accumulate and help Darko and the Raptors. Think about that. Seriously. So, yeah, I love that lineup in particular because in some ways the knock is Yacht can't shoot threes and Kelly can. And that's an interesting lineup with Scotty, RJ, Grady, Davion, and Kelly Olynyk. Yeah. Raptors 905 still got that Asian Heritage lantern jersey on sale, limited pre-sale bundle. So get it. And the game will be January 29th. They're going to have the Asian Heritage night against the Birmingham Squadron. Of course, tomorrow is Valley Suns at 9:05 tomorrow, and it's all ability game. They're going to have a bunch of people there with all ability, and it's going to be some of the people from Holland Blurview will be down there for the game. Unfortunately, I won't make it to the game tomorrow, but we'll do a watch along live on this stream, so you'll see that tomorrow. Norman Powell's got some hotties wearing the Understand the Grind gear on his Instagram. If you want to check out the UTG hotties. And there he is walking in the game like he's a wrestler coming down the wrestling ramp into the arena. There's Pascal commemorating 1 year ago when he got traded from Toronto. And it's sad because he said, yeah, I've been in Toronto so long, it was time for a change. Man, it's sad. In some ways, it's like, look, we didn't commemorate the 1 year trade of OG. In some ways, that just passed. Nobody paid attention. But Pascal, this means something to him. Obviously, Toronto will always mean something to him. And that it's a 1 year anniversary of him leaving Toronto, 1 year of being on the Indiana Pacers. Now, man, time flies so fast. I miss you, Siakam. You're always going to be a legend and a GOAT to me, my guy. And Eugene Omaroy saying happy birthday to Tyler Perry. More life, Timbit. They call him Timbit. And there was actually some footage of Tyler Perry coming to Raptors 905 practice with the box of Timbits. Like a couple boxes of Timbits. They call him Timbit, and he had the Timbits. So he's bringing the Timbits to practice. Maybe that's a rookie duty for him. So there you go. There's the Instagram stories. Happy birthday, belated birthday to Tyler Perry of the 905. Yeah, Smooth saying, yeah, he won a chip in Denver, but was he much of a difference to them? Yeah, he was okay in Brooklyn and nothing player in Detroit. Yeah. I mean, it's weird because Bruce really catapulted the championship with the Nuggets into some money. And, maybe his importance for that team was overinflated for a normal everyday team. Like it was just a really good fit with Joker and Jamal and that Nuggets crew that he could really look good. And in some ways, he was smart, and his agent was smart, and they got him a huge contract. It was a bad contract just off of that championship. I think that's true. I think that's true. I think that he could go to a team, and if it's a high level team that's in a really high place near a championship, and he's just a bit player coming off the bench, he could be worthwhile having on a team. But in a rebuilding team, a team that's not very good, he's not helpful. Because on our team, we're undersized mostly, and he's an undersized player at his position. And that's not helping us. No, it's not. So there's a little bit of that going on right there. That's right. Tristan, you like seeing Justin Bieber back for a second? Let's see Justin. Justin, you're in the city, right? We're down in Scarborough right now near the zoo. And Justin, you're in the city. Did you want to go to the zoo and maybe go visit your cousin beavers that are at the zoo right now? No, why not? Why wouldn't you want to go see your family at the zoo right now? Oh, he's worried that they're going to take him and put him in there with them. I get it. That makes sense, man. You know, maybe one day you and I will take the truck to the back of the zoo and we'll let your family out. I've always dreamt of doing that. Like a kid, you know, you want to go to the zoo and save all the animals. Well, I know where the back entrance of the zoo is. Maybe we'll go there one day and we'll get your family out, Justin. You like that? Yeah, I know you don't like them being there. You're my son, Justin, and I love you. You're my son. And I'm going to give you a hug right now. That's right. I love you, son. All right, there you go. I just hugged my beaver son. That's right. This is how serious we are. All right, you can go back to sleep. I'm sorry I woke you up, but Tristan wanted to see you for a second. Yeah, okay. All right, see you. Say bye. Bye. I need the little stick like Jim Henson had. All right, Trevor's got my cutoff. That's funny. Wayne's saying, please be an asshole to anyone suggesting trading Jakob Poeltl. That time may come, but it ain't now. Shut that shit down. Yeah, I'm all about that. Yeah, we got to protect Poeltl. Listen, Jakob Poeltl is a Raptors draft pick. Jakob Poeltl is a Messiah-anointed person that he said this is going to be a good player. And well, he traded him away to get a championship, but he brought him back, and he's very proud and happy of the work that Jakob has become at this point. Because remember, we drafted him. He's a Raptors draft pick. He's just like OG. He's just like Pascal. He's just like Fred. He's a success story for a franchise because it's somebody that we drafted and he became a huge player. How many Raptors draft picks are hanging around the league still, like DeLon Wright, Norman Powell, people like that? That's what I'm saying. I know Norman wasn't directly a draft pick of ours, but we got him pretty early in his career. Milwaukee gave up on him. But I'm just saying, how many of these guys are we anointing and saying, woo, this guy's good, and they're sticking around? A lot of teams get players every year, and they filter in and out of the league. But how many? Seriously, we should look at the stats for this. Somebody, Blake Murphy, Samson Falk, somebody, and find out how many of the Raptors draft picks in the last 15 years. Jonas is still around. Hello, DeMar's still around. That's what I'm saying. How many guys have been drafted by the Raptors and are still in the league right now? And if you looked at the percentages of overall draft picks by different franchises in this league, what percentage would be still hanging around and being still pros in this league? That's what I'm saying. We have a good, really good one on that one. I'm sure we're one of the higher teams with the highest percentage of players still playing in the league is what I'm saying. Yeah, Dub. Yeah. Nins is here. Good morning to Raptor Freak Nins. Good morning, Lex. Always look forward to a post-game morning stream. Salute to you, Nins. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you giving me your time on a Saturday morning. And yeah, let's talk about the game, Nins. What do you think? I thought that we played Milwaukee pretty good. We played them better than we did in the last game we played against them here in Toronto. The first time we played them, I thought we played a little bit better than them, but this game wasn't bad. And at least it wasn't a blowout and embarrassing. In some ways, we could blame a lot of what happened last night on the refs. We really can. I mean, Darko straight up said it after the game in his press conference. The free throw discrepancy was a huge factor. Huge factor. Smith saying the Raptors have to trade Bruce Brown, man. Messiah, I know you love Pascal, but what the fuck were you doing making that trade with Indiana? He had to do something. And the thing is, it wasn't just Bruce Brown that was in that trade. There's draft picks in that trade that we got that were fruitful. In fact, Jacoby's one of those draft picks. So we can't get that mad about it. Bruce may be the worst part of the Pascal trade, and he's a huge part of it. I get it. And it sucks, but we still got to see if we can turn this around and trade this into something better. It's like a swap meet. You may get something that's kind of and you're like, I don't want this. Well, let's see if we can swing it around and get it for something else that's maybe a little bit more what we want. And yeah, we got to understand it's not just Bruce Brown and Jordan Nwora that we got in that deal, there were first round picks, 3 of them that we got in that deal also. One of them's turned into Jacoby Walter already, and one of them was traded to Utah to get Oshai Abaji and Kelly Olynyk, and then one we're getting in this draft coming up. So I can't get mad at that. I mean, Bruce Brown is the ugly part for sure, but we got to remember those first round picks. That's right. Yeah, the draft picks, all that shit. Bruce Brown's got to go. He's terrible. Yeah, I'm with you. Neil's here. Good morning to Blackhawk. Leave Mobo on Giannis. I don't care how much he fouls. Yeah, let him get all 6 of the fouls. That's fine. I thought he did a great job. And that's one of the cool things about Jonathan right now is he's becoming kind of a mini Scotty. Not as strong as Scotty, but can do a lot of things Scotty can do. And if he's going to mimic Scotty as far as like, all right, well, Scotty's got to come out of the game. He can't give his defensive presence off the bench. Well, Jonathan will come in and stand in. Just like in a play. They're the lead actor in the play is Scotty. He's playing Romeo in Romeo and Juliet. Well, where's his stand-in? Stand in. Get in here. We need you to read some lines. Jonathan, where's Jonathan? He's the stand-in. I mean, that's kind of what it looks like right now. At least it did last night. That's for sure. Yeah, Tristan saying Bruce definitely is redundant. Eventually, we need a big, but he's basically like Oshai. He's nothing like Oshai to me, though. He's not as strong. He's not as athletic. He's not making threes like him. He's not defensively like him. I don't know. I mean, I get it. You're saying he's the same kind of position. I think you're right. Although Oshai's bigger than him. They lied when they said Bruce Brown's a power forward. He's not a power forward. That man is like a shooting guard. He's got like a point guard sized body. It's crazy how undersized he is. And everybody says he's such a bigger player. Man, he just did some crazy things for Denver. And he got all this. That's what it is. Wayne saying, Raptors coach's corner is on Sunday. I registered. I think this year's schedule works for me. The open coach's open house is on a Sunday this time. Awesome. Yeah, Monique wants to go, Wayne, but nobody else is going, and she kind of wants to go with somebody, but I don't know what's going on with that at this point. If you can go to the coach's open house, that'd be fantastic. I'd love to hear your report on what happens there if you're able to go. I'm not able to go this year, or I would, but yeah, that's awesome, man. Tristan's registered also. That's awesome. Okay, Tristan went before. So he'd be going back. So that'd be good. Tristan Trey went. I don't know if this is the same Tristan. I know there's a couple Tristans. Let's see. He's saying Lex is a real supporter, not negativity. Well, I mean, if I'm going to get up and do this every morning, I must really care. You know, that's the thing. This year is like a lot of content creators have not been making content this year because it's like, what's the point? We're losing. I don't want to do it. Well, I get that. But that's the thing. That's where you separate the passion right there. That's right there. Tristan saying you can always be negative, but what's the point of that? I know. What's the point of that? This world's already negative enough and sad enough. Why not shine a light? Why not try and build people up or make people feel good instead of like making them more depressed? That's the way I feel about it, actually. I've been trying really hard to reshape the way I do this channel in the last year to get more away from doom and gloom politics and be more just about shining a light for the positivity of the Raptors' future. And that's what it's all about at this point. That's right. Slug DZ saying Cooper Flag moves Scotty to shooting small forward position potentially. So you're saying if we did get somebody like Cooper Flag, we play him at power forward with Jakob at center, and Scotty would slot at small forward there. Interesting. He's that big? When I watched him, he didn't look that big to me. All right, guess. All right, maybe. All right, interesting. Tristan saying trade Bruce for a big. Whoever said he's a power forward needs a head examination. I know. Well, it's because he could rebound, and they were saying he could defend fours. I'm like, you're ridiculous. He can defend fours. That guy can defend fours. How? They just bump him out of the way. Like, how does he defend fours? I can see where he could be an undersized rebounder, and he snatches some rebounds that he had no business getting. But to defend fours, you know, how? He doesn't have the height or the size. Like, seriously, you can't slot him at the 4 spot. Whoever was slotting him at the 4 spot was actively tanking, probably. Seriously. Would Brooklyn play him at 4? Seriously? The Nets were playing Bruce Brown at 4? How? Where's the smoke and mirrors for that? Seriously. Holy crap. How did you do that without getting blown out by 40? That's crazy. Trevor's saying Cooper Flag was at Celtics game last night. The crowd was going crazy and the cameraman too. It's not like he'll land there. So whatever. Get over yourselves, Boston fans. You're not going to get Cooper Flag. If you do, that would be the most crazy NBA weirdness that they've ever done. That would make no sense. How the hell would the Boston Celtics win the lottery this year? How the hell would that happen? So don't get your hopes up, Green Nation. There's no way you're going to have Cooper Flag playing for you. And him being at the game was just to go to an NBA game. Hilarious. Tristan saying Bruce Brown versus Evan Mobley. That's a joke, right? That's a joke. There's no way he could play Evan Mobley. There is no way. All right, let's do the classic card real quick. All right, let's see what's up. All right, I've got a few more of the cards from Christmas that my niece and nephew gave me for Christmas. So it's a newer hoops card from last year. First person to write the full name answer will get the classic card trivia points. And yeah, we've had a lot of different people getting the cards lately. It's not the same regular people that are getting them at this point. So I have not done a total up in a while. I'll probably do that today just to show y'all what is going on with the trivia standings. So yeah, I'm going to take over running the trivia again because I don't know what's going on with David. And I'll go ahead and add up all the numbers and post it in the comments later today. So here we go. Here is the card of the day. Who knows this card? It's easy. It's not that hard. In some ways, it's shiny. That makes it kind of hard because it looks like a reflector on a bike. But yeah, who is that? That's pretty easy. I think that you guys should know who that is from this card as far as looking at it. Let's see. Who's going to get the classic card answer? Full name answer, please. You can tell the jersey. You can tell the player maybe from the thing on his head. Maybe you know it from there. You go. Tristan does know who it is. It's Corey Kispert of the Washington Wizards, formerly known the Bullets. That's right. This shiny card, Corey Kispert. Good job, Tristan. I don't feel like this is that hard, so I'm going to say this is a 100-point card because Corey Kispert is a pretty well-known player. So we'll say 100. 100 for. And who was that got it? It was Tristan. Tristan got it. Beautiful. Tristan, you haven't really gotten any classic cards, have you? Let's see. Tristan Phipps. Boom. And you know what? I'm going to give you 150 just because you're not on there very much. In fact, I'm trying to see if you've ever gotten a classic card of the game day before because I don't see your name on the spreadsheet at all in here, hardly at all. Tristan, is this the first time you ever gotten the classic card? Because it looks like it is. That's pretty impressive, man. I got to give you some props for that. Tristan Phipps coming in and getting the classic card. Boom goes the dynamite. Nope, he has never gotten one. Awesome. Yeah, you couldn't remember his name, Nins? Yeah, Corey Kispert. He looks like he should be like, his name is kind of like if he was a Backstreet Boy. That's like, yeah, there's JD and Corey. I want it that way. Tell me why. Ooh, Corey Kispert solo tour. Yeah, he's going to sing all his old boy band songs. That's right. Yeah, Trevor's saying, too bad for your NBA fantasy team because the trophy is worth it. He's saying play hard for your fantasy team because the trophy is worth it. Oh. Now, wait. Are you talking about the fantasy team or the trivia? The trivia trophy, we know what it looks like. It's the one that's in the studio at my house that we haven't seen in a while. But Trevor's saying that for the Yahoo Fantasy League, there's a really good trophy for our fantasy basketball league this year. So, I bet there is, Trevor. I bet there is. Yeah, I haven't checked in on that in a while. I feel like the league's doing pretty good, and we'll have to see who wins it in the end. Some top teams in that fantasy league right now. All right, let me see. What else do I got to do real quick? There's some more things I got to run down real quick. Let me see. I already did the box score for the Raptors overall as a team. I did the Stars. I did that. Okay, there is a birthday today, guys. And it is who we saw last night, guys. It's Gary Trent Jr.'s 25th birthday or 26th birthday today. Happy 26th birthday, Gary Trent Jr. We actually just saw him last night, and he got an early birthday present, beating his former team last night. It was kind of cool to watch before the game on the feed. Alvin Williams talking to Gary Trent Sr. in his fur coat on the sideline before the game. They talked for a long time. Alvin said that he talked to Gary before the game, and it was cool. You see him talking to his old teammate, Gary Trent Sr., and, of course, Gary's three brothers were there sitting at courtside also. Yeah, different people were coming by and chatting with Gary Sr. I saw Chris Boucher talking to him for a little while before the game last night also. So yeah, Gary Trent Jr., happy 26th birthday today. That's right. Former Raptor Gary, who beat us last night on the Bucks. It's his birthday today, guys. So it's Gary Trent's birthday, Gary Trent Jr. All right, let me see. I did there's a 100 top draft picks ranking on ESPN today. Going over that right now. The Raptors are around like 5th worst in the league right now. So we're kind of slotted into around VJ Edgecombe or Kasparas Yakusanias, who we looked at before Kasparas. So yeah, that's who they're saying we may draft at those points if we do end up where we are right now in the standings. So, all right, y'all. I guess I'll wrap it up. Thanks for watching the Raptor Freak stream today. It's a loss, but it is what it is. In some ways, we got to roll with the punches and learn from these. And Scotty probably learned some lessons last night about things, and hopefully they'll stick and he'll get better for it because of that. Yeah, on Monday or Tuesday, we're going to play Orlando. That'll be my next preview stream. Tomorrow is a watch along. We won't be doing the stream at 9 in the morning. So don't look for me at first thing in the morning. I'll go live probably around 1:45 tomorrow afternoon, and we'll be live watching along the 9:05 game against the Valley Suns, a G League game, just for fun. We do this in the summer for Team Canada games normally. Well, we're going to do it just for fun in the middle of the season, a mid-season G League Classic watch along with the Raptors 905 versus the Valley Suns, and I'll watch it live and comment on it during the whole game with you guys. And we'll do that tomorrow. So that's the stream for tomorrow. Sunday special watch along that we don't normally do at all. That's right. All right. Thanks for watching me today. My 3 stars of the game and the game last night, Pirtle, Olynyk, and Barrett, with honorable mention for Bruce Brown and Scotty Barnes. And yeah, go ahead and check on your fantasy teams like Trevor's saying. That you guys need to get your teams going and get winning and do a good job. There you go. There you go. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. I appreciate all the nice compliments today from Tristan and other people. And yeah, I hope you guys just have a fantastic Saturday and enjoy this Saturday, this at the end of January. Hopefully it's a little warmer wherever you are and you're able to just have a good day out doing something fun. All right, I'll be back tomorrow for the watch along in the afternoon. So look out for me around 1:45 Sunday afternoon. All right, let's go Raptors. Stay positive. Seriously, what's the point of rooting for the Raptors or watching them or caring about them if you just hate them? Seriously, think about that. Think about it. Why are you doing this if you hate them so much? Just chill. You could either go away or maybe amend your behavior and be a more loving, positive fan like we are here on the Raptor Freak channel. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to set an example, set a role model for some of the fans in our fan nation to just behave better and try and be a little bit more for the team. I get it. Some of y'all are half-assed. You're not really Raptors fans. You're fans of the Leafs or you're fans of the Warriors and the Raptors or shit like that. I get it. But some of us are Raptors priority number 1. And we will want you and we will demand you to respect our team because we care about our team. We care about our 30 years of culture. We care about Vince Carter's jersey getting retired. We care about a 2019 NBA championship for the Raptors. And in some ways, this is sacred, important stuff to us. It may be casual, kind of toxic. Oh, let's just make fun of it and kick it around kind of stuff for some of y'all, but not for some of us. And that may be the difference between the real ones and the ones that are just here to be snarky little assholes. So there you go. There you go. Nids is saying, see you tomorrow, Lex. Go Raptors. Right back at you, Nids. Let's go Raptors. Let's go Raptors. Let's go.